Hey everyone, I'm excited to be here with Stephen Holland. He leads one of our life groups, and I've visited Stephen's group many times over the past couple of years. And one of the things that stuck out to me in his group is the depth of prayer that they engage in together. At the end of each class, they gather together and they're praying for one another, but in a significant manner where they're praying for the burdens that are on each other's hearts, and each member is engaging at various times. Some choosing to pray some days and some not. So I just wanted us to have some time, with our discussion on prayer that we had on Sunday and just highlighting this importance of prayer to our life group ministry. I want us to take some time just to hear from Stephen. So Stephen, what led to you starting up that kind of prayer ministry in your life group?
Well, some people they're kind of awkward praying sometimes. I mean, they want to, but they don't want to because they're scared of saying the wrong thing or whatever. So it was a while back. I couldn't tell you how long ago. I just said, well, we're just going to get up and get in a circle and hold hands. And if you want to pray, you can pray. If you don't, that's fine. We'll go to the next person. And it started out for the first couple of weeks. It was just me, and every now and again we'd have one another. And now, we haven't been able to do that since COVID, but now it is we get up, we pray, and everybody takes time in prayer, and we really lift each other up as far as the needs that we're going through, or the hurt, or the joy and the praises that we go through. So
Yeah.
It's become a very personal, thing, lifting each other up in prayer.
Yeah. So even in the midst of COVID, you're still able to pray for one another just without that physical closeness that you're talking about. And that has still been a big encouragement to your group.
That's right. What we do is we use GroupMe a lot. And I don't know if anybody else uses it, but at any given time, somebody can, reach every single person in our group with a prayer need, or with a prayer request, or whatever's going on in their lives. And we really keep each other updated through that, and text messages. And now that everybody's getting back in class, we're doing it in person as well.
That's awesome. Well, so, I mean, you said it was awkward at first. That, how long do you think it took to kind of overcome that awkwardness of praying in public?
Maybe a month.
Yeah.
Not very long. I think what really brought people around was they saw that everybody involved was genuinely concerned about whatever the need was, and was genuinely praying out loud for each person in that class.
Wow.
And when you start seeing people recognize that, well, they can't help but to get involved as well, because it's just it catches on. So it was really, really good.
Yeah, and one of the things, Stephen, I guess we talked about on Sunday was how prayer is used by God to lift up his people. How have you seen that in your life group?
And I'm not going to go into particulars, but every single one of us in our life group has gone through a different season in our lives. A different season, different things come up, whether it be personal or financial or spiritual, whatever.
Yeah.
And when we're praying together, it opened up them being able to talk to each other in our small group more openly, to let us know, what our needs were.
Yeah.
And once you start lifting, and they see that we're genuinely lifting each other up in prayer. And it's fantastic. It really is.
That's cool. And how has that been? I mean, just in you and Deidre's life, have you been strengthened by God through this process? Has that been something that has been vital to your journey?
Yes, I would not be going spiritually, me or her, be going spiritually like we are without the power of prayer.
Wow.
I just don't think it would happen, because if I know I'm going through something and I share it with my life group, I know they're praying for it. They're lifting it up, and that means a lot. It really does. So yes, our spiritual growth has been, and especially Deidre's. I'm going to brag on Deidre for a little bit. I mean, not that I'm any better than her, because I'm not by any means, but in the past 6 months, I'd say maybe even a little bit longer, her spiritual growth has been just it's been just like shooting off like a rocket. It's fantastic to see that. And it's been because, in part, because she spent a lot of time in prayer. She's let other people know in our small group what she's praying about. They're lifting her up, and it just brings the life group so much closer together.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I've just been very encouraged, and I just thank you, Stephen, for sharing just a little bit of your story in life group. Is seeing how the community has really developed in your group, and y'all have an interesting makeup of group from people from different nations, different age ranges. It's exciting to see just how y'all have really meshed together in this, eclectic community, and have really walked through this life of faith together, lifting one another up in prayer. So just thank
Mhm.
you so much for sharing your heart with us. If you're watching this as a life group leader, I'm telling you, a prayer ministry in your life group where you're deeply sharing the needs of the heart is for your life group. The awkwardness of praying can be overcome and should be overcome by people in your group, and it will develop over time. It takes time, but just take it from Stephen's story today that it's a worthwhile endeavor to pursue in the midst of your life group. So, Stephen, thanks again
Absolutely.
for sharing with us, and I look forward to seeing you all on Sunday.